Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the MDL. This time, Connor has graced us with his... Oh, sorry, Scrawn Dog has graced us with his presence. Can I call you Scrawn Diggity Dog? Can I add in a little, like...
Yep, that works.
Is it better or worse, though?
Absolutely worse. I mean, they're all bad, man. You're working with rotten tomatoes. You're only going to get shit salad.
Oh, God. Either way, we are back into a game, and a game I'm actually looking forward to. Valiance, a team that I have pretty much confessed my love for many a time. I like the players, I like the management, I just like everything about this team. And they're facing off against Forze, who I think are actually one of the more exciting sort of like tier 3, 2-ish, whatever you want to call them, teams to watch.
100%.
Like they've got not only some talented individuals, but they definitely throw in some strategy in there. Like I think Jerry, at least when I last watched them, was in-game leading, and he was doing a pretty damn good job of it.
So they're coming off of some hot results at the moment. Good showing at DreamHack Tours, decent showing at DreamHack Rio de Janeiro. So that right there, those kinds of, next level, entry level 100K events. And Valiance have been cutting through them like butter. Same thing they did here on this B site. Just easy entry inwards, additional follow-up damage on the rotators. I mean, poor Jerry gets gushed through smoke. And now Hunter, he's just going one more. Sure, Jerry will answer with one frag, but that's it. That's all Forze will have in this first pistol. Valiance kick off the T side.
And it's pretty much something we've seen throughout with this team at the moment. Hunter has been on point. I think Nexa has also been on point. I think that's where you get to the missing piece. Like Esperanto has definitely not been at his best when he like won tournaments, for example, with Imperial. Like he was playing another level of Counter-Strike. I think he hasn't quite adapted to this more structured style of team. And the same for Otto. I think he definitely has another level to hit. And I think that's when we could see them win an event like that. And I believe they did qualify for Summer as well. So that will be their sort of opportunity to have another go at taking home another event.
What I will say is I would wholeheartedly agree that at Rio, Otto was kind of missing. But I think the reason we saw them succeed more so, just more recently at Tours, is because Otto was having a great event. So that is one of those gears that they were able to shift into, Tom, very recently. And so it's just to validate
what is going on,
because he was huge. But Facecrack's looking to be a little bit bigger. Just deagles down a double at the bottom of middle. There is a third player in Esperanto, but same result. Just splattered on the catwalk, and Letney's going to have to step up now. He's got 50 seconds to play this 1v3. No bomb control, though. Letney strikes me as the kind of guy to play this out, however. So let's see if he works his way from cat towards mid and can get some quick kills. If he gets quick kills and grabs bomb, then the clutch could be on.
Yeah, definitely the calm within the storm of Valiance personalities. We will see whether or not he can bring this round home. Likelihood is no. The crossfire here from the CT side is one that's tough to break. Clearing all of the angles, but eventually it's face cracked to get his quad. A fantastic round from him. And more Force by victories coming out from Forze. Now, bear in mind in the previous map, this somewhat became their downfall because it was so backwards and forwards for the beginning of the game that they didn't do too well on their CT side. But at least in this case, they're going to have another go at it.
Of the Lille.
I know you're a big fan.
I hate those things.
I know.
I'm a FAMAS fan.
But so you would have liked the FAMAS raid boss in the last.
It wasn't a mistake.
It didn't work at all.
Look at this, bro. They're about to slip their way into the B site. They've got to deal with the two players on cat, but Almazer falls off of the blocks. And because of that, we have a chance for the player to run forward and grab a better gun. Auto upgrades to the AUG, and the bomb carrier is now going to start this plant, but nice headshot from Jerry. He was the only player to connect the shot in the pistol at this B site, but now he's connecting more so. Gets Nexa as he was trying to clamber his paws onto a gun. Hunter peeks into the market, but sees nobody there, and he's going to have to start to double back, but bomb's not planted for him, and unfortunately, he would have loved to have been pushed, gotten a kill, grabbed a gun, and gone for the play. Now he's just going to get sectioned off by Molotovs and flashbangs as an easy defuse comes through. Good job, Jerry. You did it.
They're actually somewhat hunting him down. I think they'll realize quite quickly that there was no extra weaponry for him to even have. So pushing around this corner is null and void. Another bomb plant coming in for Valiance at least, so a bit of extra money, but can't really go for too much. Esperanto is going to purchase up a Deagle. Their loss bonus starting to build a bit, so they might be able to do something into this round. Like they got away with quite a bit in the last, even when you consider what was actually invested. But this is something that we didn't see at all when it came to Overpass, which is the double AWP setup. However, Hunter, he's already got an AK.
Molly falls down mid. Back go the T's. Gonna have to hold off for a moment. That single AK wanting to hit some heads. They call him Hunter for a reason. Misses his chance as Face Crack gets hyper aggressive and then retreats. But this is what has drawn Hunter back, that AUG was nearby. He hears footsteps to his right. That's a rotate through the murder hole. Could go for the boost right now. And if Almazer doesn't turn his back, then that should be an easy kill. But no, they don't even spot him. Bro, so many wild moments. There's going to be a boost at the bottom of mid. Seen from both sides. Split, ready for it. Then the peek that he deals with too. Letney's going to kill the player in window, though. That's a slight opening. A smith. All shut down in the end. Valiance fall one after another, but you could see them starting to test that mid hold from Forze.
Yeah, I think that's at least in the Imperial days, like that was the bread and butter of that side. Like Esperanto was an absolute monster at fighting into connector. Now, I think there's been some congestion for at least the way that they play and the spots that are taken, so he hasn't been unleashed so much, but this is still one of their best maps, and I expect that we'll see it once again. Aggressive play, he peeks back in with 11 HP and manages to get the opening pick. Unfortunately, in the meantime, that secondary AWP has come into play. So that man advantage is gone within seconds, and when you look at the amount of damage he took, maybe not worth it. Xe Power has to be a little bit careful here. Counter nade's being thrown out, and it looks like it's going to be, again, another trade as the peek into the connector. It's not clean, but it is at least one.
Nexa is yet to swing wide from Palace. If he finds timing, could be Almazer on a platter, but oh boy, a missed shot from that off, and then the Almazer connects to Esperanto, hit on the drive-by, and Nexa, well, he's good for 1 and 2. Nails flit to the backside of Ticket. Here's the peek from Xe Power, trying to clear sight, but there's a player behind the box and one in Palace. Hits the player in the cover first, now going to the high ground, but not seeing Otto, who's just crouched behind boxes. Wants to play the goose egg. Just lay on top of this bomb until it blows up. Smoke's gonna topple it, and there's the peek. He's got him dead to rights. That's Valiant's second round, but it comes by way of 1v1 clutch. Good thing Otto saves that off, because it's a very costly round.
Yeah, he wouldn't have had one otherwise, but this is one of those moments for Forze where, right, in the last map, we would have seen them risk it. Maybe that's why they're not going to do something of the sort this time. Didn't go too well in the end for their CT side. So they're going to hit the save. They've been going for a double AWP setup anyway, so having Almazer and Xe Power over $4,000 a piece will be hugely advantageous. And now this round just comes down to damage. Now, by the looks of things, their damage is going to be very low indeed, because they have stacked A and mid. It's already going to be a quick push into B. However, nice tracing. That is more difficult to do than you might think. And a second one as well for Almazer. Okay, maybe the damage is going to be much higher than I thought. I was already netting a couple of frags. Thankfully, Letney's able to trade one and, well, he's got 3 at this point.
Here's the damage. So poor Jerry, he tries to slip into the site under the ruse, under the cover of the smoke. Can't even get that done, Tom, because of the fire at his feet. Sound gives him away, but dude, those deagles. Sickest part of this round. And that's about it as well. No follow-up kills after Almazer's Almazing 2K. We're all tied up.
I always love those tracing kills. I really love them. Like, because I know I would have 100% missed. Like, there was no doubt if that was me, I would have missed.
He's got one shot with that deagle, and he knows when he gives himself away, he's going to get peeked by those AKs. Then Esperanto walks into the second bullet. So Esperanto's going to run to the top of mid this round. Solo, we've seen him here. He gets that early footing, and then, you know, off of his position, the players from Underpass snuggle in. Cracks watching it, dies to the boost. Excellently done here by Valiance. But there's another player on the left side. CT tries to retreat. Esperanto nearly lines up too. He damages Almazer through that initial body. So there's damage on both sides here for both Valiance and Forze, but another kill. Exapower's gotten himself pushed all the way through B apartments into underpass behind the mid setup. I believe Forze, they understand that these B players in early apps are going down and constantly trying to pinch into mid. Opens them up to that kind of an up push, but that is just stupid.
Just a slight spam onto the box. It had to be the player had already been tagged as well, so a Galil wall bang for Nexa, and that opens up the site. That's the difference maker in this round. There's still going to be a quick rotation though from Power, and actually the peek in from Esperanto with the bomb. Maybe a mistake that cost them, as now the second comes in off the back of the AWP, and now Nexa, he is the man you'd want in these clutch situations. At the same time though, tough one to take, and Power, the sheer confidence to just go for all of those repeaks and hit every single shot.
It's just delicious. It is so fun to watch moments like that. Off of the ticket, that's kind of Chris J-esque. 4 for 4. Corpses to the floor. Poor Valiance. They thought they had that round dead to rights, and now they are going to find themselves fighting back with just a couple rifles and pistols within the mix. Jerry getting aggressive into the palace, just gets shut down. Auto. Headshot right out of the Krieg. Face crack doesn't re-peek just yet, and once he does, it's going to realize bomb's gone. It is out of there. Instantly sprinting over towards the B apartments, looking to join up with Letney and Esperanto, those pistol players who will pave the path to the B site. Only Flit on the other side of this, and remember, bomb's in tow now, so he has everything to do. It's round win or loss, unless Exapower can run back over to the B site fast enough to stop them.
I definitely think Hunter's heard the rotations, but the team are already going. Power will be there for help, and Flip manages one. It's going to be the trades back once again, and Hunter's still lurking. So realistically, Nexa's got everything, well, in his hands. This one kill may not really have that much impact, as now Hunter has to try and win the 1 versus 2 without the bomb. Luckily, there is a fair bit of time, but sectioning out these players is not going to be an easy task.
Has an AUG trained on, and Almazer ready for the kill. It's a good angle to hold. That bench position, I find, has gotten so much more powerful now that you have the scope rifles on the CT. Now that those AUGs are more prominent. It's one of the many angles, many positions that just gets bolstered. A little more favored to the CT side. Just like this half so far. 5-3, pistols once more for Valiant. So they've gone from bad to worse in terms of looks on the buy. But target remains the same. Not going to be that early palace pressure or presence, but just straight to the B apps with bomb. Letney and a Glock.
Oh, Mazer. Looking to get aggressive. Luckily for him, his opponent had pretty much nothing anyway, so it's as easy as it gets. Unfortunately, I believe it will have spotted the bomb. Now, I don't really expect the CTs to act off of this. They do have a couple of MP9s, so maybe one of them will go a little bit more aggressive in turn, but you don't want to give Valiance anything. Don't let them get a rifle. Don't give someone like Hunter a chance. Just Esperanto, maybe. Walk out into the site and 1D someone. That works too. He's got to be careful from above him. How does he get that kill as well? Jerry's now fallen. There is going to be a man towards CT. Remember, this is literally just his deagle and a few pistols. There's not much else really in this round at all. And they're going to give Esperanto more space. Lots of damage being done. He finds another kill. And the other tag low. Only 16 HP for Power here. And you can see Otto starting to lurk back in from behind. This is a round that never should be taken, but it's looking possible.
Esperanto, let's go. Dude, deagles. Just pop open the bomb site. Now, Power's AWP takes the front line off ticket. He's walking into another. That's 4. Esperanto single-handedly nearly wins the round. He falls at the very last hurdle. Flit with 6 HP is going to go for the save. So his sole purpose walking into that bomb site is just to ruin the ace, Tom. Excellent round from Esperanto. Beauty of a couple deagle shots. I mean, that first one was a flick. He was staring bench when the triple peaks. And then the second, a 2-bullet doozy on the stairs, but they're going to give chase. They want to give homage to the ace nearly of Esperanto. 5-4, a robbery to the T side, and what a great way for them to start getting back into this game. It's a buy on top of it, op saved. Ooh la la.
Yeah, there's not many ways that your economy can be reset in Counter-Strike anymore. Like, you are, if you're losing rounds, you keep your loss bonus. It's very comfortable for anybody who's having problems in the game. Not if you lose to a force buy. That's where things can really give you that hit, because not only are you just handing weaponry over to your opponents, but most of the time you've invested everything you've got, because these are the sort of rounds you shouldn't be losing. You want to keep things nice and clean. And yeah, for Forze, that now sets them back with Flit on $1,800, Jerry with $1,500. Okay, there's a few players with extra money, but XC powers the AWPer, so that extra money goes into an AWP. And then on the other side, we don't even need to mention the fact they got an AUG and a free AWP. Like, it couldn't get much better for Valiance in that round. And this is what I was talking about at the beginning of the game. Like, when Esperanto hits the level that we know he can, this team is actually just filth. Like, Nexa is, I think, underrated as hell as a player. Hunter is rated fairly, I would say. Like, he's got a lot of hype around him. Then if you add in Otto and Esperanto, like, this team will win tournaments.
Nearly getting there. Again, right? Improving on each of their big international showings so far this year. They have more to come around the corner. You're talking about a team as well that wasn't far off, Tom, from getting to the next stage of the last major cycle.
Yeah.
So there's promise here.
Pretty
we're just looking to the consistent results now. We're looking for that kind of trophy in the showcase that proves, like, yep, we're capable. Because Valiance also did fall off for a while. I think when they first made that merge between the two teams, them and Imperial, when you had that first connection between these pieces, I wasn't very impressed. And I thought to myself, damn, we've lost 2 tier 2 teams to create this byproduct, and I didn't like it as much. But nowadays, after you've been given that, additional 6 months of contest, they're making waves, they're turning heads, and they deserve it. But last round, I wholeheartedly agree. Esperanto to me is like the simple of this lineup, but he just doesn't tap into that consistency yet. When he does do it, it's beautiful. And when it does happen, I do still feel like it's more often than not here on Mirage. That's such a conversation I have every time I cast Esperanto. We've got to mention this. If he doesn't have 20 kills on Mirage, it's because he has 30. Tom Biz told me that. And to this day, it's stayed true. We're 9 rounds deep. He's about to hit 10. He's just got to keep it going. Use that momentum. With his attitude and his, because he has a bit of arrogance, Esperanto. But it's that young hotshot arrogance that actually fuels him and that people can wield as a tool to get to the top. He truly believes he is the best and that he should be there. If that's I will say, I praise it, man. I like it.
I think that's actually been part of the reason he hasn't been playing so well recently, though. Like, to the level that we came to expect from him, is because, like, from speaking to him, like, he'll make jokes like, oh no, I'm trash now, like, or whatever. And it's when a player's making those jokes, there's still that part of it where you go, I actually do think he believes it. Like, I think he has fallen a bit, and once he gets back to being confident, that's where we will see the best. But yeah, that's what you want from him. You want him to be cocky. You want him to be taking these ridiculous fight in mids. You almost want him to be that JW-esque player from the old Fnatic days, where it's like, you have the squad, and then you have him.
He's still the only player, to my knowledge, who has ever gone from being the lowest rated player at an international 100K event to being the highest rated player at the following tournament.
Yeah.
And that was the difference between DreamHack Tours 2018 and DreamHack Summer 2018, where they went on to win that second event, where it was a huge upset versus a lot of good tier 2 Danish teams. It's when we saw, the falling optic, etc. So let's hope he can get back into it. The only reason I keep that conversation on him for this long, I have no stake in this. I don't care if Esperanto ever succeeds, but I do want to see someone who was kind of spotted by top tier Counter-Strike players and told, like, this could be the next star. He could be the next Robs. Yeah. He could be the next Simple. Nobody's had that conversation, I don't think, around them as much. So let's see it, Esperanto. Round 10, now done. Easy anti-eco. It's a gun round to prove his worth. Let's see if he pulls through.
Molotov thrown in. So a lot of that is to offset the smoke that will be thrown into the window, but there was no smoke. So can't really do too much about that. Esperanto instead has just walked towards the connector, utilizing the smoke thrown by the CTs to give him a little bit of an off angle. They have managed to find the opener, however. Almeza getting the pick. There's still weakness within the spy. SMG is not ideal, but they're trying to utilize them in these closer range angles. Jerry getting ready for the peak. Nexa's always around here. He can become quite predictable in his position, but there's a reason he plays it. Esperanto now makes his move, and he gets two coming in from the connector. He's not going to find the third, though. Doesn't expect another player around that angle. So it will be a trade back. Nexa still trying to make his way out, and does actually manage to find Flit instead. Letney's actually retrieved the AWP, at least for a second, until Power rotates in. And, well, this man again, like, when he starts hitting his shots, when he gets that AWP in hand, he's actually giving Valiance a run for their money.
It's a shame that the rest of that A hit didn't succeed for Valiance, because Esperanto comes in from connector, gets those first 2 kills, and his attention is called to the bomb site because you had that MP9 on, I believe it was Flit, just playing around close sight. So while the ramp player and the palace player couldn't come wide for their peaks, all the responsibility falls on Esperanto. He gets caught in the first crossfire, and then we see the T's fumble one after another. But there was a making that first couple of duels on the A site. Doesn't work out. Forze already gonna have a player positioned underpass. Face crack with 2. Drops bomb. See ya later. Flashbang goes back behind him. Still he'll drop to Otto's op. 4 versus 3. At least some kind of momentum swung back to Valiance. And Power is a little too timid to go peeking in through mid. So bomb could be retrieved. There is a chance for Valiance to reset with more than a minute on the clock, but they have to get bomb now. Smoke's about to fade, and Power, if he regains vision, haha, he won't. Another smoke comes through.
Yeah, this will gain them that connector control, and also some vision on towards short, but it's not really something being held at the moment. The CT side B defense is pretty much just Flit sat on a box, which may not be perfect, but it is good for denying any sort of bomb plant. Power with the read, but look at the position that has managed to be gathered by this T side. They get towards the jungle. They push out from the connector. They don't quite spot out Jerry, who's still in the corner. Power peeks in. Nexa is prepared, but he can't connect the shots. And now for the remaining 2 players, this seems hopeless. Such a tough spot. Letney manages one, but then there's Jerry lurking underneath, and he will double down. 7-5. Forze really start to build now on their CT side, and the T's have no money left.
No, that's a weird one. That's a tough spot for Otto. He was that 3rd player in on the 3-man push from connector towards A. You saw Letney trying to trade back onto the ticket booth, but none of those players were really falling into Otto's vision. He had that AWP, something that can normally be utilized to crack open a site. You know, if you had Otto on ramp, whole different situation. He's got ticket held back. He prevents those peaks. It's easy contact, shoulder peek and repeak. But he's all coming in from connector, and that kind of conga line of T's out from Valiance just weren't able to smoothly entry. Player underneath Palace, that was the real nail in the coffin, and I love when players do that. Just dance around boxes, don't get into the gunfight, play the time, the advantage. He was comfortable to the very end and closes out Forze's 7th round. So what is very much turning into a CT-sided endeavor. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked to see him close with double digits, Tom. It's doable.
Yeah. I know we've had a few players. I have to say, like, I think Power on this roster, it seems to be an absolute beast with the AWP. And then I feel like you've got Almeza is almost second in command, but then Jerry just picking up like random impact frags like along the way. Like whenever he seems to get kills, they seem to be some of the most important of the whole round. So starting to build themselves. As mentioned, this is a position where the T's can't really afford to do anything. Just going to invest into a pistol or 2 and hope to reduce the economy of the CT side, which thus far I have been doing a pretty good job of. It's not really the ability of Forze to build much cash, but as long as they got an AWP in this man's hands, I don't think they'll care too much.
This is a weird one for the bomb. He's going to have to come join his teammates through connector, but that's assuming they even get out. You have Jerry floating within the bomb site, support from Facecrack to watch Palace. It's Esperanto they want to try and crack this one open, but he doesn't have that deagle as seen in the last time. You know, it's a P250, a little lighter. but still general consensus is you go first. You do it. And as he meticulously clears corner, he is yet to see Jerry. Oh boy, that's going to help. That is certainly going to help. Nexa, he peeks out, gets the dig shot. Esperanto gets him on the retreat, Tom. Now, sure enough, Exapower can rotate in fast enough to drop that first body. Palace player falls. It's a close peek as Exapower again rattles a round off. But he gets back. Molotov blocked and a bomb planted. Nexa's Deagle does it. It wasn't just Esperanto. I thought it was all on him, but no. Pistols pop it open, bomb down, and a retake coming in hot.
Not even sure that was the smoke they meant to throw as well. Like, I think they wanted to section off that little side portion around the boxes. Instead, they've kind of given a bit of space. The pistol's going to be spamming through. Flip will get off the defusal. They have managed to at least find a couple of kills, but the bomb's starting to tick quite fast, and they're going to have to get on this bomb fairly soon, trying to bait out Otto. They do manage to do it, but is he going to get the kill? He needs to find his final bullet, and they're actually going to get the defuse. Oh, that's going to be so tilting. The Valiance, they deserve that round.
Womp, 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 womp. Dude, that is just unfair. That's how it feels. You know, that's how it feels if you're Valiant. Yeah. Just unfair. We did everything right. We got our entries. But, I mean, if he had even waited for smoke to fade to shoot his final bullet, then Otto's going to get it. It was 11 HP on the diffuser, Tom. But you have to watch the smoke fade, regain full vision as you reload. If that's not a slap in the face, then I don't know what is. But Valiants are going to bounce back. They're going to try to come in with the guns. Remember, that wasn't the full investment in the previous round. Meant to be a bonus that could have been. If this game comes down to a one-round difference when we get to the final, the finish line, then remember that one, folks.
Already, Esperanto has been removed, and been a big part of things here, but finally we see a bit of a step up from Hunter. Went quiet after the pistol. Even still, though, they're left. Disadvantage. Letney manages to bypass the spot from Almeza, and Otto's just gone ham. 2 quick kills, and then there's the flank as well from Letney, just going, oh, cheers, mate. You do all the work, I'll just get that free kill. And they've got it back to 6. Like, it's really... this is one of the most peculiar games I've watched in a while, where it's just like... It's who pops off the most, I feel, wins the round, which is kind of mad.
Hey, you know what? I would say it's the craziest game I've seen in a long time, except I watched Forze versus Gamers Legion earlier and honestly, it had the same ingredients, really. And then this happens. More and more ridiculous frags. A CZ headshot as Hunter just walks out of ramp. He's looking for an easy pick on that A site, and he gets a face full of $500 pistol. Nexa wants to take up position and try to trade this. It looks to control that gun because it is still just 2 weapons for Forze around these upgraded pistols. Esperanto opens back up for the T's. Exapower is pinned into this position with an M4. Oh boy, does he want it, and he peeks up for it. Sure, he gets blocked off, but this could even help him escape, for Christ's sake. He just sits in it. Almazer is going to go for the push through B-Apps, looks to get the flank going on mid. An active play we've seen from Forze before. They know that this can be open. A route to hit them from behind, but Nexa clears forward. They're going to start moving in from connector, pushing up off of the ramp. Can this bottom mid play activate before they move in? Exapower doubling into jungle. He's gotten himself the follow-up to Letney. There's an AK retrieved on the bottom of mid, and now it all falls onto Nexa. He's roasted. Just follow through after follow through from Forze. 9-6 is the score at the end of this first half.
Yeah, and all in all, I think they'll take that. The way that this half has gone, it was... Well, it easily could have swung in the other direction with Valiance taking the half, but the fact there's a few clutch situations, a couple of close calls, and that's enough for Forze to actually get themselves a fairly decent half. Now going on to the second side, the T side for them, I don't think they're going to be too worried going forward. The only thing will be... I know that obviously on this side of the map, there's still going to be a lot of challenge coming into middle. Strong double AWP setup if they want to bring it in. And that's on, I feel, multiple players as well. Like, we know that Esperanto can AWP if he wants to. It's whether or not he's feeling confident with the rifles as well. And all in all, I think Forze are going to want to try and get themselves that pistol. I think getting off to a strong start is going to be important for them. We saw it in the last map. They managed to get off to a decent start, but being down was not quite enough for them to turn it. So we'll see. And I believe if they do manage to win this one, that will be the first loss on the board for Valiance. But they've only played 2 matches prior, so...
Yeah, late start to the season with all of their globe-trotting. But it's a good start to the season. You know, they say better late than never. I don't know what they were referring to, but... It applies to our situation here, Tom. This is a heavy B setup. Esperanto's going to be in the... Whoa, back up. Fire on mid. There's the push. There's the pop. They jump and hop into the B site. Otto, though, cracks back with a couple of kills of his own. And speaking of the crack, oh boy, there it is. 3 versus 2. Bomb down. And now Power has even gotten one from downtown. Nexa solo play as he comes out from the door. But it's Valiance no more. Forze, open up, winning a second pistol.
I think that just defined exactly what I was saying. Like, who can pull out the biggest plays in a round? Like, Otto in the corner with a USP, you shouldn't be able to get 2 kills from there. Like, unless they're completely facing the other way. Then face crack, 2 seconds later, 2 kills right back again. Like, it really is an illogical match of Counter-Strike, but it is an enjoyable one for sure. And it is going to be... Well, I was going to say 10 men. It looks like 9 men are going to be on this B side at once as everybody goes charging in. The CT side crossfire at least kick things off well, but they line up for Jerry. And he'll get a nice little bit of extra finance for that one at least.
That was quick, huh? That's what you love to see, those Mac 10s just racking up cash. Look at the expense on... Every time we talk about Jerry, I'm just thinking of Rick and Morty Jerry. It makes me kind of look down on him, or it makes me kind of proud of him when he accomplishes something. You know, when he pulled off that, like, what was it, 3K and a pistol? I was like, Jerry's done something, Tom.
See, I feel like for me, just because of my name, that is not what I first think of.
Oh, Tom and Jerry. Yeah, that sucks, huh?
What do you mean? I like it.
Oh, yeah, that's what I definitely meant.
Quick push in. Oh, Otto. No armor, almost gets taken out, has to fall back. I'm lucky he did, otherwise a barrage of nades would have been enough to put him down. Esperanto has been able to just peek through. How's he get 3 out of that? The smoke play, the risky play is enough. Now, well, it's up to his teammates to clean up the final pieces of this puzzle. Jerry, oh, nice shot. We'll spin around. Manages 1. The second won't quite be there, though.
Yeah, Esperanto. You know what? I'm just going to go for the stretch. I'm going to chalk that up to him using the M4A1S. It's a good play in that position to have that gun because he gets the first kill and the second so quickly that you could see the players who were jumping from Tetris to stairs. They could have prioritized just peeking wide from the top of Tetris instead of going for the jump. But it's all happening so quickly. And with that 25 bullet magazine now, he has a very real chance at getting a multi-kill. That's not just the 1 or 2 that maybe you felt like you'd get with the old M4. It's enough of a buff and enough of cover with both the smoke and the silence. It's a perfect storm. Good example of it there on the A site. 3 kills before the T's can get anything going. And so Valiance, this round, will be tested on the other side of the map. But wowza. Al Mazer's just going to get himself a ripper of a headshot. Hunter positions himself just beneath the van. He takes 2. Clears up a couple bodies as Esperanto wins his duel on mid. Jerry flaps down into the B site with an op just behind him. Can they hold this off? It's 2v3.
Yeah, the missed shot from Otto could have pretty much put this round to bed, but he'll get it through the smoke instead. A great return to form and leaves Jerry all on his lone in a 1 versus 3, and it is not happening. Nexa will close him out before it can even get exciting. But oh,
later, nerd.
They just can't make it easy for themselves. I think that's what it is. It's like, okay, he peeks into my angle while I'm holding it. Nah, that's too easy. I'll just bang him through the smoke a few seconds later. That's fine.
Yeah, smoke me off. See if I care. God damn, right into this one. Op plays off in the last round, and now, well, if you got 1 op, why not 2? They'll go to the double. Letney joins him on the big green gun, and they're just going to try to position this as quick as they can over towards the B apps. Got to be careful here. Letney needs to at least get 1 or 2 kills because these pistols are going to flood forward. Easy first one. Now he has a fallback angle. Where does he choose to go? Bench is risky, but so's mid-sight. Good thing Hunter's got him covered. Eyes back in, the scope prepared for the last 2 players to peek, and so it's just force-feeding themselves to Valiance's 9th round. Jerry drops down 1v4, and it's not going to be long.
Slowly starting to drag things back a little bit now as they hit 9 to the 11 of fours. But this is where the T's will get themselves another purchase. And although there is some money starting to build over on that CT side, it's not anything out of control. Like, there's no real worry for Forze yet in terms of the CT side just buying for the rest of the game. The problem is the double AWP setup. Like, Letney, much more of a passive AWPer, but it is still going to be one of those situations where it's just hard to clear. And then you got this man kicking things off in middle, face crack. Nothing he can do about that. The peak going to come back in over towards ramp. Nexa will spot them, but maybe a little bit too audacious of a peak.
So gonna just charge headstrong, peek out from Letney punish. Jerry, nice double. Then, however, Otto steps up to bat. Double kill off the off. Flicks for the 3rd! Dude, he just wrecked Jerry. Goodbye, good night. This round's over. It's done. You can't take it from Otto at this point. 4 fabulous kills from the ticket booth.
That 4th one should never happen. Like, never. The fact that he jumps into the crosshair of his opponent and then just hits him through the box. But XE Power, he might have something to say about this. Otto low, Hunter in a bit of a crossfire onto the bomb, although I don't know if he's actually watching it, so there's a chance here. Otto just going to be waiting. 40 seconds left. He's actually going to retrieve the bomb. He's going to look to double back towards this B site. He will have enough time, although it is a long, long walk. There isn't going to be anybody there unless they really do go for the late rotation back in, and well, it seems like Hunter might have some itchy feet in that regard, but they're just going to play this together.
Footsteps heard, perhaps?
Oh,
Hunter?
no.
Nope. Yeah, you hear that drop. He cuts him off. Exit Power plays himself. Tries to get through the murder hole, and they call it that for a reason, Tom. I'm still just flabbergasted by Otto's 4K. 24-11 because of it. You mentioned that. I'm so glad you said it. As this game got started, you said one of the things that can kick Valiance into that next gear that really makes them shift ahead is Otto. He can hit that ceiling. Well, there's a prime example of it, folks. If you weren't a fan, you should be now. Just perfect.
I'm starting to get to that point that I did with like Danish Counter-Strike where it annoys me because where are all the UK players that are this good? Like, it's not fair. They've probably all been shouted at, let's be honest. But either way, it is just the talent pool seems to be booming in Finland at the moment. And this man, wow. When you have a top 5 team in the world that doesn't have this man or Sunny on it, you know that there has to be some decent talent around in Finland.
Yeah, that's a good point, right? Not even Sunny can make ends. What's Otto gonna do? Hard carry Valiance today, at least. Good on him, though. Good Otto, though. Esperanto keeping eyes towards mid. Needs to watch for that boost exactly. Now he knows he can unload the Molotov, the frag grenade, deal some damage, but he actually kind of gets skimped out. Hunter sees a shoulder, peek up into connector, so he's going to have a good idea as to what's going on. Expect him to peek mid, or maybe Esperanto, both at the same time to try and trade. It's easy. Bomb at the bottom of mid. Facecrack wants to trade back, but he's the next victim of the round. Dies simultaneously with Jerry over towards that B site. And we're all tied up at 11. Valiance, they have made the comeback happen here on CT.
Yeah, once again, purchase will be brought up for the T side. But now the money starts to build a little bit more than you'd like, I would say, for Forze over on that CT side. Still got the double AWP setup. They haven't really come close since it came into play. A lot of that is off the back of Otto, but they're also being funneled away from the B site. Like, when they have gone in this direction, sure, Letney is not like carrying the game and absolutely ruining everyone, but he's successfully holding it. And that, if anything, is more annoying because it's just a section of the map gone. Then you have Otto, and then you have Esperanto peeking into mid. And well, just there you go. Chime in one by one. Nexter even adds another as they go for an aggressive ramp hold. And you're only about, what, 40 seconds into the round? You've already lost 3 players. You're having to run through a smoke to retrieve the bomb. Somehow XC Power gets 2! What? This game makes no sense.
He just crept him, but he's too occupied, too preoccupied by looking and changing guns that he easily falls to Nexa. Chucked to the wayside, he pushes it onto Jerry. Jerry, what are you made of? He's going to play it silently. With the 45 seconds left on the clock, Molotov gives him away. Trajectory not seen by any of the CTs, although they know he's near. Now he's going to go for the flash. Letney saw that one, so peek up to stairs is going to seal the deal. Valiance, they'll take 12.
I don't understand how these rounds seem to be so almost confirmed for one team, and then it's just like, and now we're in a 2v2. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. But it is great viewing.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen.
This round is a bit of a weird buy. They do have the max loss bonus, of course. It's been a lot of rounds in a row. And I actually am not against seeing Mac 10s going towards the B site, especially, because just being able to jump out the window and basically continuously shoot without really having that much of a drop-off, definitely going to be helpful. The problem is they haven't had too much success on this B site so far. Letney's been very good at finding openers, and then the support of Hunter has basically meant that even if they eventually go down, the rotation available from the team is enough. We'll see if they can beat that this time.
How many can he collateral? The unilateral collateral, Tom. That's what he wants here. 5. Not going to happen. Falls off instantly. Just a little utility pressure is enough to have him fade, but he's not safe. Hunter is going to help. A little safe haven on the side of the bomb site. Peeks in for the 1 kill, but the AK trades. Now there's the spray down. Nicely done by Hunter. Gun goes dry, but the teammate's near. Good anti-eco for the most part. I mean, what, had that 1 AK, which did get a kill, but just not enough gas in the tank for the rest of Forze to exit.
Yeah, it's sort of what you expect, though. Like, as said, it's 1 kill for Letney most of the time, and then Hunter just has the space and the knowledge at that point. Interestingly, it's Letney giving the intel, which is his name backwards.
Whoa. Whoa.
He's just been brained on.
Is that intentional?
I think well, the thing I've heard from different people it is and it isn't, so I don't know, but it's
intel written backwards, Tom. I never knew. Who knew? Otto, maybe. He seems to know where to find these opening picks. Just gets around the side of the smoke, as Almazer will do the same thing into connector. He'll do to them what was done to him. And Hunter, well, he'll fall back slightly from the catwalk. Doesn't want to give that opening to the charge. Very susceptible to the A split right now. If this Palace player can walk out and just nab Otto, then suddenly Nexa's back is so exposed.
Smoke gonna go down, which will allow Nexa slight rotation. Lots of noise being made into mid, and there will be a rotation coming out from Hunter, mainly based off such an aggressive position from Letney up in the apartments. Means if anybody rotates in that direction, he'll be ready. It's actually Otto to go down, however. Nice shot coming out from Jerry. Hunter's there to help. Now it's left onto Nexa, and he gets 2. Left all onto Almazer. Again, these rounds swing backwards and forwards, and Almazer's attempting to flank, but he doesn't have time for this. He's got 20 seconds to go retrieve the bomb, plant it. It's not happening, and I think he's just hoping there's somebody around this area, but there's not.
No, he's roasted, toasted. It is golden brown. Nexa, that spray down on the player towards connector, that was really the big difference maker. And what's the point of dying?
I don't really know.
You'd have an AK You'd have an AK this round already added to the mix. Remember that. You have 5 seconds left. There's zero chance of accomplishing anything there. That's that one, Tom. That one really grinds my
He
gears.
bought what?
Did he? No.
What?
The audacity. Like, hey guys, I never lost it. What are you talking about? And then he just runs out mid and loses it to start the round. Nope, I'm not having any of that.
With the loss bonus is much of a muchness, but that's still just really weird.
It went from something like dying at the end. I'm like, yeah, I'm no longer a fan. But then he goes ahead and force buys into it, and that takes some go.
Oh, get out! Letney he's jumping up on the bench expecting his gun and still manages to kill the person peeking. This game has been a mess, but I have thoroughly enjoyed it. That's actually one of the first times we've actually seen Nexa have much to do as well. Like, he is normally an absolute tank on A. Like, I think someone that definitely needs to be thought about when you are playing them on Mirage. But he hasn't had much to do because Otto has just been so fantastic throughout this game. And that was the thing. It was like in the first half, Otto and Esperanto were good. Hunter was a bit quiet. Now, coming onto the B site, Hunter I don't think he's died in pretty much any of the takes of B. And when that's the case, okay, he has got up to 20 kills, but it doesn't even matter so much if he's just staying alive every time.
Ooh, that's not the best way to start this off. Exit power tag to 16 HP. Frag will get the job done. Bomb sectioned off. 2 of its players completely done. And now with the player coming out from connector caught, it all falls to the Palace and ramp. And Palace no longer. The king has fallen, Tom. The monarchy is dead. And we have Valiance in victory lane. What a CT side. They lost the first 2 rounds, the pistol and the follow-up, and then fours were never heard of again. Hot damn, what a third map that was.
Yeah, I think that definitely came down to running out of ideas and then maybe some slight tilt coming in out of what was happening. But yeah, some incredible plays coming out from both sides. Some very close rounds, even though it was Valiance winning all of them. And I would say for the T's, or at least at the end, Forze, they're going to be quite disappointed because a 9-6 CT half to not get anything done on a map where I would say it's not really even that sided. Like, maybe you'd lean it a little bit over towards the CT side, but to not get anything done, that's going to sort of hurt them, especially when it comes to getting points off a team like Valiance. Like, that's always going to be helpful in the MDL.
On the plus side, Valiance, their flawless record so far here this season, going to keep heading forward. And considering that we have a promotion spot to the ESL Pro League on the line, that's huge for them. Again, you've got Vitality, I believe, still leading this season, so big heads to hunt. But at least they've taken down Forze here today. But we've got one more map, folks. One more map of ESCA action left on today's agenda. We're going to go ahead and take a break, and we'll see you all there.